Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this one I got for you straight out of Oakland, California. I did a previous video on this ex-mayor, Sheng Thao, who had an FBI raid at her home several months ago, dealing with bribery. And she had also upset the citizens of Oakland because of trying to defund the police. Liberal laws. There's been tons of assaults, property damages, criminal behavior, gun violence, deaths that have taken place in Oakland. And the citizens of Oakland were tired of Mayor Sheng Thao, and they did a recall vote and actually got her out of office. So she had an FBI raid on her home. The city of Oakland did a recall vote to remove her based on how she legislated. It is so bad out in Oakland and the state of California under Gavin Newsom with these cashless bail systems. You can steal up to $950 a day. LA County, Oakland, San Francisco has been decimated with all kinds of crimes. And subsequently, they got rid of her. Well, while they did that, I'm sure the citizens did not know that she was doing a pay-for-play scheme, and that's why the feds had raided her home, and now she has been indicted. And throughout her term there, it got so bad that places like In-N-Out Burger, Walgreens, banks, all left Oakland. All of them left Oakland. Walmart, you name it. These Fortune 500 companies have left because of theft, looting, assaults, property damage, and Oakland is falling apart one day at a time. So now she's been indicted, and let's see what happened. Former Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao, her longtime boyfriend and partner, and two local businessmen charged with bribery offenses. An 8-count indictment was unsealed, charging former Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao, her longtime romantic partner Andrew Jones, and local businessmen David Trung Dong and Andy Hung Dong with bribery offenses, and charging Andy Dong with making false statements to government agents. So follow this story on what happened. According to the indictment filed January 9, 2025, in the weeks leading up to the city of Oakland's mayoral election in November 2022, and following her election as mayor, Thao promised to take official actions as the mayor of Oakland to benefit David Dung and Andy Dung, in exchange for the Dungs providing various benefits to Thao and her longtime partner, Mr. Jones. David Dung was the president and CEO of a recycling company that provided residential recycling collection services to Oakland households, and was also the chairman and co-owner of a housing company formed to develop and manufacture prefabricated modular homes. Andy Dung, David Dung's son, was an employee of the recycling company and also a founder and co-owner of the housing company. The indictment describes that Mayor Thao promised to commit the city of Oakland to purchase housing units from the Dungs Housing Company, extend the city's contract with the Dungs Recycling Company, and appoint city officials selected by the Dungs. In exchange, David and Andy Dung promised to and did fund a $75,000 negative mailer campaign targeting Mayor Thao's opponents in the mayoral election. And they made $95,000 in payments to her longtime partner, Mr. Jones, for a no-show job with their housing company, with the promise of additional payments, all intended to benefit Mayor Thao and Mr. Jones. Once Thao became mayor in Oakland in January 2023, she allegedly took steps in furtherance of the corrupt relationship with the Dungs, including using her influence to help appoint a high-level City of Oakland official selected by David and Andy Dung, and requesting that members of her staff meet with and tour the Dungs housing company. Thao allegedly benefited from the payments that the Dungs made to Jones. Financial records indicate that before Jones began receiving payments as a result of the bribery scheme, remember Jones is her longtime boyfriend, Mayor Thao either paid the entirety of or split with Jones the rent for their shared residence. However, starting in January 2023, soon after Jones began receiving payments from the Dungs as part of the bribery scheme, Jones began paying the entirety of their rent. In addition, beginning in January 2023, Jones increased his contribution to or paid the entirety of the shared bills with Mayor Thao, including household utility bills and mobile phone bills. Defendants allegedly took steps to conceal their bribery scheme by, among other actions, at Mayor Thao's direction, making the bribe payments to Jones. Mayor Thao wanted the Dungs to make the bribery payments to Mr. Jones to avoid a paper trail back to Mayor Thao, misrepresenting that Jones had a legitimate job with the Dungs housing company to mask the bribery payments, creating false invoices for the bribe payments from the Dungs recycling company, and failing to disclose benefits received on California Form 700, which is a statement of economic interest. The public deserves honesty and transparency from City Hall. When elected officials agree to a pay-for-play scheme to benefit themselves rather than work for the best interests of their constituents, that breaches the public trust, said First Assistant United States Attorney Patrick D. Robbins. This indictment reaffirms the U.S. Attorney's Office's commitment to root out, investigate, and prosecute corruption in our local governments. Our communities are entitled to leaders who act in their best interest, free from the shadow of corruption, said FBI Acting Special Agent in Charge Dan Costin. Today's actions demonstrate our resolute determination to protect the integrity of our government and ensure accountability for those who betray the public's trust. To protect the public trust, postal inspectors work closely with the U.S. Attorney's Office and our partners at the FBI and IRS criminal investigation to investigate and prosecute those individuals responsible for fraud schemes committed against a governmental agency, business, and the public, said San Francisco Division Inspector in Charge Stephen M. Sherwood of the U.S. Postal Inspection Services. The alleged crimes committed against the citizens of Oakland by Mayor Thao and her co-conspirators are a clear breach of public trust and cannot be tolerated, said our IRS Criminal Investigation Oakland Field Office Special Agent in Charge Linda Nugent. Public corruption schemes are rooted in greed and typically leave a money trail behind. IRS CI specializes in following that trail and building cases that lead to justice. This indictment charges each defendant with one count of conspiracy to commit bribery in violation of Code 18 U.S.C.-371, one count of bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds in violation of Code 18 U.S.C.-666 A1B or 18 U.S.C.-666 A2. One count of conspiracy to commit honest services, mail, and wire fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C.-1349. One count of honest services, mail fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C.-1341, 1346. Two counts of honest services, wire fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1343, 1346. Andy Dung was also charged with one count of making false statements to government agents in violation of Code 18 USC 1001A2. An indictment merely alleges the crimes have been committed and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If convicted, defendants face a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison for each count under 18 USC 1349, 18 USC 1341, 18 USC 1343. There's also a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison for each count and a maximum of 5 years in prison for the count under 18 USC 371. Andy Dung faces a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison for the count under 18 USC 1001. Any sentence following conviction would be imposed by the court after consideration of the U.S. sentencing guidelines and the federal statute governing the imposition of a sentence. The defendants are scheduled to make their initial federal court appearance in Oakland at 10:30 a.m. on January 17, 2025, before U.S. Magistrate Judge Candace Westmore. Assistant U.S. Attorney Molly K. Priedman, Abraham Fine, and Lloyd Farnham are prosecuting the case with the assistance of Amala James and Madeline Wax. The prosecution is the result of an investigation by the FBI, the United States Postal Inspection Service, and the IRS. What a story. Here again, we have to make and pay attention to our local politics, city and state, as well as our federal politics. Many of the things that are taking place in your city, with your politicians and your legislators, can affect you each and every day, more so than the federal laws that are garnered in certain instances. Here is a clear example, and I'm telling folks each and every day on my video channel that the FBI, the alphabet departments in the federal government are going to be busy. In this case alone, just look at it from a legal standpoint. You have the FBI, you have the United States Postal Service Inspector, and the IRS that are all entangled and doing an audit on this situation with ex-Mayor Thao. Things that are done in the dark will come to light. And it's very interesting that the citizens of Oakland wanted to recall and have Mayor Thao removed based on how she governed. And many of them had no idea that she was privately participating allegedly in a pay-for-play scheme. So 2 things happened to Mayor Thao. She got removed by the citizens of Oakland who became awake and discovered that she was the wrong person for the job. And then she got her own self recalled after finding out that the FBI, the IRS, and the United States Postal Service inspectors decided to indict Mayor Thao for her egregious, arrogant behaviors for a pay-for-play bribery scheme. So she got rid of herself. So not only did the citizens of Oakland get rid of her, she also got rid of herself. This is going to be taking place all over the country. And many of our local politicians, our mayors, throughout many of these blue cities, it seems like there is a telltale sign and an alignment with there have been many corruptible situations with these blue cities and these liberal mayors. We know Eric Adams in New York City has been indicted. We know the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, has all kinds of chaos and disruption taking place. We know that Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, has all kinds of things taking place in her governmental departments. I just did a story yesterday where her deputy mayor has been alleged and is on administrative leave for an alleged bomb threat. What is going on with many of our mayors, especially of color and of blue cities, that are getting themselves caught in this axiom of corruption that is making and leading to the desktops of the FBI, the IRS, and the United States Postal Services. Tell me what you think about this case about ex-mayor Tung. Her name was Sheng Thao, I'm sorry, who had a few months ago had an FBI raid. She gets recalled and removed from her position as the Oakland mayor, and now she's been indicted by the feds, the IRS, and the United States Postal Inspectors. What an unfortunate circumstance, and we got to make sure that we vet and elect the right politicians and legislators to lead us in the right direction. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.